All right, thank you, creepy voice. Welcome back. Happy December. Happy almost spring season. Depends how liberal you are with the definition of almost. For those who don't know me, my name is Sam. I am the youth programs coordinator for DiscNY. I also help run the high school league, um, which is this. We're back. We have a new commissioner team this year. So Jacob Cowan is here. Sid Stelzer is here. I would love for them to get a chance to introduce themselves. Most of y'all know me, but I think some of y'all have had experiences with one or both of these people, but yeah, floor is yours, guys.
Sweet. Thanks, Sam. Sorry I was a minute or two late. My name is Jacob. I use he, him pronouns. I know I've met a couple of you guys in person, but I'm excited to see a bunch of new names and faces and all. Brief background about me is I grew up in Brooklyn. I'm a proud graduate of the Beacon High School team. I graduated in 2019, went on to Grinnell College where I played and captained, and have also played on Blueprint as well as Empire and Pony, and I played on the under 24 national team as well. So I have a lot of playing experience and a ton of captaining experience. And obviously, as you all know, that means a lot of organizing experience. And I'm now back in Brooklyn, living in Bed-Stuy. And I do community organizing work in housing and that type of thing. But I'm super excited to be back working with the high school league, and I have a lot of ideas about how to make the experience for players feel more legit and more fun and help all of the teams grow. And I'm super passionate about that on like what is New York City Ultimate, what does youth Ultimate in New York City look like level, and then also on the individual level of, how can my school at Avenues or wherever grow. So I'm super excited to meet you all in this space and hopefully get to talk to you all individually at some point in the coming months.
Thanks, Jacob. Hi, everyone. My name's Sydney, she, her. I am not a New York local. I'm actually pretty new to the city. I've been here for about a year and a half. I also was not originally an Ultimate player. Played soccer up until I was 18 and picked up Ultimate in college. Just wanted to try something new and found such an awesome community and have stuck with it ever since. That was in Chicago. So, started Frisbee there at Northwestern. Went on to play for a mixed team and then a women's national level team in Chicago, and then moved to New York and played for Exist and Gridlock this past year. Helping deputy commission because I am very organized and wanted to bring that back to my community and something that I really care about. Outside of Frisbee, I do product design. Yeah, excited to be here and start meeting everyone and help organize schedules and everything.
Cool. So excited to have these folks on board. And again, I'm Sam, they, them pronouns, youth programs for DiscNY. I also work in technical theater. I help teach and organize shows at Fieldston. I am also New York City Ultimate Class of 2019 with Jacob, used to play against him. I currently play for Exist and have played for Gridlock in the past as well. Went to college at Wesleyan, slightly out of order there. Um, cool. So a lot of you will have seen some of these things before. There are a couple slight differences for 2026 with new personnel, with learning what we have learned over the past couple of years and what's effective. A lot of this is pretty similar. So registration for this year's league opens on January 1st, just as it has. That registration is open for give or take a month and a half. That closes in February. All of these timelines are posted. They will get sent to you again, along with registration instructions and the uh, how do I do the thing that I don't understand how to do cheat sheet. Um, so registration happens on DiscNY. We also have teams roster in USA Ultimate, which is always the most confusing part of the process. We're trying to make it as easy as possible. There will be resources for you, I promise. Um, we'll invoice as we go. We'll talk about dues in a moment and how that happens. There is a minimum roster deadline. That is 10 players plus a coach and a chaperone. We know for a lot of our NICE schools, interscholastic division schools, that is not realistic. We understand that. We know for some schools that are up and down on their student population, that is less realistic. If you have questions about that, and if you have questions about any of this, always, always, always reach out to us. The easiest way to get to all three of us is hsleague@discny.org. Beginning of March, full rosters are due, and medical forms are due. We have a medical clearance form that USAU requires us to collect. It's annoying. We have to do it per event, and we're not allowed to hold on to them season to season because HIPAA. Yay, extra paperwork. I apologize. Um, Regular season begins on March 9th. That is pretty much in line with what we've done. We have extended the back end of the season this year by a week. We know it's getting cloggy. We're trying to address that without running up into postseason tournament time. Scheduling is going to look pretty similar this year, so a lot of that will be with Sydney. After this meeting, you'll get a scheduling form. It's very similar to the form you've seen the last couple of years, just a little bit more easy to follow and easy for us to process. It's basically, when does your school let out each day? When is the latest you can start a game each day? Can you play on the weekends? And what days are no-goes for you? And a couple other things like that. That form is open until registration closes. We will work to create schedules with our permits as best we can as drafts based on that. We're going to have feedback from teams about what's not working. We're going to continue trying to have the scheduling meetings we've had. You will get schedules much further in advance of those meetings this year. I know that was a stress point last year. Our permit should come in easier, and we anticipate having an easier time making those schedules actually work. I'm happy to go into details with anyone who wants to stick around with questions at the end. I was just talking about this with Sydney before we got on here. Our goal is to get schedules up and locked, as close to locked as possible, by February 27th, so that you have an easy reference point. And that's going on DiscNY's site and in USA Ultimate, so that you have about a week and a half to make arrangements you might need to make. I know some schools have to deal with transportation, stuff like that. You have that buffer until the March 9th timeline. If we need to adjust it, we will, but this is what we're trying to do at the outset. Regular season is pretty similar to how it has been. It's about 9.5 weeks this year. We're adding a little baby week in the middle of May. So we've typically had the postseason tournament run on the second Sunday or third Sunday in May, depending on the calendar. We are not going to try and do that as a one-day tournament this year. It was a fun idea while it lasted, and practically with permits and with scheduling became pretty hard. It put some constraints on the actual regular season, especially in the B division. And we don't want to do that. So playoffs are single game formats this year for across the divisions. Ideally, we are trying to do those as close to the end of the regular season as possible so that you have as much time as you need before states and other tournaments to use that time to prep. Obviously, we run into weather issues sometimes. We're trying to give ourselves that buffer. Youth kickoff will once again be that, I think it's the third Sunday in March, the 22nd. Pending permits, there may be another tournament in early May, May 9th. We're not sure. It might be a hat tournament. There's internal discussion going on there, and we don't know what Ben Cortland is going to give us. But just to be able to flag it on your calendar, there may be a tournament there on May 9th that will also be at Van Cortland. The overview section is pretty much the same as it has been the past couple of years. Everyone plays a round robin, except GX, who plays a double round robin. I know I'm throwing a lot of information at you. I promise we will have pause points for questions, feedback, etc. This is one of those pause points. Anything based on what I've said so far?
Hey, Sam. This is Graham. So
Hey, Graham.
EULA is actually that Sunday of kickoff, March 22nd, just so you know.
That's fantastic. All right. Stay tuned. We'll see if we can adjust those permits. Yep. Is that Barry?
Yeah, this is Barry from Wes. I missed it. You said the playoffs would be what date? That's the yeah.
Playoffs will be between the 14th and the 20th of May.
Got it. Okay. All right. So sounds like steering clear of Mother's Day this year. We heard a lot of
Yes, that
complaints.
is the goal.
Thank you. Awesome. Thanks.
Cool. Mark, go ahead.
It seems like you're adding 2 weeks to the schedule. Or feels like the March 9th. That I mean, maybe we started that the 10th
We
last
have
year. I don't
been,
know.
yeah, we started the 10th and 11th the past couple of years.
Okay, it's just that baby week is you're gonna run into. I think is that like the week before PBI in states is the following weekend.
Something like that. Yep.
Yeah.
We know it's not ideal. We're trying to balance the feedback that we've gotten that the season is too short, and also that there are tournaments at the wazoo in the month of May. Um, right now, the more consistent feedback has been that the season is too short and that folks don't have enough time
Is it too short
to
because
schedule.
like people can't play games earlier? There's like just to understand like is it that people
There
aren't
has
able to
been
play
the
games
feedback
early
has
in the
largely
season?
been like folks have not been able to get all of their games in to the existing schedule. Some of that is spring break overlaps. Some of that is not being able to get early season games in.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah. Cool.
Cool. I'm going to keep going from here. Registration fees are slightly up this year. Some of that has to do with inflation and paying folks. Some of that just has to do with reorg work going on inside DiscNY that I can't currently speak in great detail to. Um, every player has to have a membership for the league's purposes. That can be an affiliate membership, which is $20. For non-white players, it is actually completely free. States I believe, as long as it is held by an affiliate, which we assume it will be this year. That's all you need for states as well. If you're going to anything outside of DiscNY events and the state tournament, you will need a youth membership for all players. That's slightly more expensive, but you get more coverage. Same thing if you have a B team or an additional team of any kind, you get a discount on that team. Just we want more teams in the league, and we don't want to make you pay unnecessary extra fees. Everything can be paid by check, by PayPal, or by credit card. We can take that through Ultimate Central when you register. We can invoice you directly for check and PayPal stuff. We can provide W-9s, any other type of tax forms you need. There are processing fees for anything that is not a check. So we will bake that in. You will have to pay that on top of the fee. If you have questions about what that means, please reach out. Um, checks are easy for us. We know they're less easy for schools. So we try to be flexible where we can. Medical forms. I'm going to be more on top of it this year than I have been in the past couple of years, in large part thanks to our new commissioners who have the bandwidth to do the things that we need them to do, um, and are fantastic folks. But anyone who is not 18 by the beginning of the season needs to fill one of these out. You can keep them on file yourself as a coach, and we'll have you sign a waiver that says you have them and we'll have access to them. Otherwise, they go into a folder that's shared with the three of us, just in case there is insurance stuff that comes up, in case there's a medical emergency. We need to make sure that we have the correct information in the worst case scenario. In the 3 years or 2 years now that I've been doing this, we have never had to pull one of these out, but we don't want to, the first time we have to be the time we can't. If your team practices in New York and your school does not have insurance for that, we can provide insurance for that. We have to roster your team, same as if you've done it for the fall season or if you've done it in past seasons. That opens on January 1st. You'll be able to register your team in USA Ultimate, get everything covered. If you have questions about how to get involved, just reach out. If you have questions about what the requirements are, again, like we are here, we are an open book. We are happy to help. Pausing again. Just kidding, keeping rolling.
Hey, Sam, quick
Um,
question.
yes, go ahead.
Is affiliate membership sufficient for sanctioned practices as well?
Yes, any
Uh,
DiscNY event is covered by that affiliate membership.
okay, thanks.
Mhm. Coach compliance. We've been trying to figure out a better solution for this over the past couple of years. The solution we have found is Ankored. This is a new platform we are using. Any one of you who is a coach will get onboarded into this, and it allows us to more directly be able to see who has completed their trainings and follow up with you. USA Ultimate is slightly changing their training requirements this year. They're removing as an option the foundational coach certification. and going towards age-specific ones as their standard. So everyone will get onboarded into this platform. It'll ask you to upload proof of USAU membership, signed waiver, and certain trainings that you need to become a coach. It will send automated reminders. It will keep track of when things expire. Um, and it allows us really to ensure that everyone is getting the same standard of training. Um, and so that it isn't the three of us digging through rosters on the back end of USA Ultimate to see who has completed which checkboxes, which is a small nightmare at the least, and hours of spreadsheets at the worst. Everyone will get a link to this. It is pretty self-explanatory. Um, we are really excited about this. Go ahead, Mark.
Just this is great. I just empathize with the pain. So is this a tool that like works with the USAU site or to like in conjunction with, or is it like a separate standalone application?
It is right now it's standalone, but we can link directly to everything in USAU from it. So you
It
can
can like sync up or something. All right. Okay.
exactly.
Cool. Great.
Some of it will be you'll upload a certificate that you pull out of USAU.
Okay.
They are working to become USAU's platform as well.
Gotcha.
Um, but yeah,
That's good. Cool.
and then this is something we're using across all youth programs. So if you run into it again, we won't have to cross-check all the trainings. Everything's nice and easy. It will also include information on how to roster your team in USAU because might as well make sure everyone can see it. If you are not greenlit by Ankored by the time the season starts, you will get some angry emails. Don't be the person we chase down with angry emails because we can see that you haven't finished everything. Um, Basically, this is what you'll see when you log in. You'll be able to just click buttons. Everything will walk you through. There are instructions, and I can provide a demo video as well. This one is Jacob.
Yeah, thanks, Sam. So I'm super psyched to see a lot of adults and coaches on the call. But this is more geared towards any captains who are on the call who don't have coaches, don't have adults involved with their team. I don't know off the top of my head how many that is, but just we wanted to or yeah, we wanted to provide this season a renewed focus on matching coaches with teams that are already existing. I know when I was in high school, when I was captaining Beacon, there was a stretch of about a year and a half where we didn't have a coach, and it just makes it way harder to function as a team. Um, Whether that be competitively or as a community or just organizing practices or whatever that may be. And as I have, gotten to know more young adults and like people in their 20s and 30s in the New York Frisbee community, I know that there are people who are interested in coaching, but just have not connected with teams that are out there that want to coach. So that's one of the things that I'm super excited about and hoping to bring to the league this year. Um, so this is a link to a form, or sorry, this is a QR code to a form that anyone related to a team, parent, captain, player, former player can fill out. And we will get the results of that, and it'll have some details about like, when you practice, in what ways a coach can be helpful, all of that type of thing. And we will look at that and then hopefully reach out to you. And I should say I bring some experience finding a coach for both my high school and my college team to the to this. I know that it is a very like case by case basis as to what would be helpful if there's even an appetite for a coach, all of that type of thing. Um, so we just wanted to provide this resource as early as possible. We haven't fleshed out all of the details yet, but it's something that Sam and Sydney and I have been talking a lot about. And so please fill this form out if it would be helpful. And if there's anyone on this call, or if you know of someone who wasn't able to make it tonight, for whom this would be helpful, or just finding a coach for their team would be helpful, um, please feel free to reach out to me and reach out to all of us. It's definitely something that I feel passionate about and want to help people with. And also, I know that I'm not the most up to date on the ways that this can be the most helpful. So yeah, I don't know if there are any questions or comments about this, or feel free to save them later or message me individually. But wanted to offer that. Yeah.
Cool. Love it, coaches. And if anyone knows anyone who is interested in coaching, please send them our way. And we can always use more coaches in the DiscNY community. Um, Couple of partnerships, some of which you're familiar with. There's some photos of some of you on this. I apologize for the jump scare. Um, DH Ultimate is back as one of our gear sponsors this year. I forget the exact number of teams that were involved in this last year, but they are able to offer good book discounts on gear. So a total, I believe, um, a full set, so a light and a dark plus shorts is in the neighborhood of $70 to $80 per player. There's a minimum order. If you're reordering the same designs, there is in fact no minimum order on anything except hats. So if you're looking for a way to get good quality, relatively cheap uniforms for your team, DH is one of our sponsors. They are great and have very easy design processes and some fantastic folks who work there. You can reach out to us if you're interested in being a part of that program this year. Sydney will be helping run this as as the deputy commissioner, excuse me. We've had some really sick designs. I couldn't find a photo of Discotheque's purples, but you can kind of see Mark in one. There have been some really sick jerseys from these from last year and the year before. The other new one this year is VC Ultimate. VC is a DiscNY partner starting in January. Surprise. Um, all the DiscNY youth teams are eligible for a 25% discount on VC gear, which is more than the 15% discount you'll typically get from them. Um, they offer, again, really high quality gear. They are a Canadian-based company with values that are really in alignment with DiscNY. They have absorbed all of the additional costs of tariff-related, um, anything tariff-related that goes into the cost of gear, they are absorbing as part of their mission. You can order in bulk, you can set up team stores, you can set up team fundraisers that you'll get a 15% commission off of. I know teams fundraise this way, sometimes through other brands. They have fantastic, fantastic customer support. They've been our sponsor for Try You as well. So we're really excited to add them as an option, as an official option for DiscNY stuff and be able to get discounts there. With both of these, the earlier you're able to order, the better. Shipping timeline or delivery timeline is usually 4 to 6 weeks from the submission of the order, depending when you are able to get things through. But both of them are fantastic options. Neither is exclusive. You can pick whichever makes sense for your team or go an entirely different route if you have existing partnerships with your team. The last one is Discraft. This is DiscNY's third year being a Discraft partner. We will likely renew after this year. We can get you literally hundreds of dollars off your order in addition to the USAU member discount. Um, we can get individual discs for, between $3 and $5 per custom, where USAU members going to get them usually around $5 to $7 or more. We can also do misprint discs for $5 per. You'll typically find those for between $8 and $10 plus shipping anywhere else. If you're interested, highly recommend. These are a great way to fundraise as well. You can get customs for, $6 a pop, sell them for 10 at a tournament, whatever you like. I think that's all of those three. You can contact HS League, you can contact youth at DiscNY to get any of those. Discraft, there's a specific email for and an order form, but happy to answer any questions at any point about those. New for this year, also Jacob.
Yeah, sweet. If you want to go to the next slide, Sam. So another thing that Sam, Sydney, and I have been talking about in some of our preseason meetings are these ideas for two internships to support our work running the league. Sort of broadly, they fit into this vision that I feel like we've talked about and that I have of just trying to make the high school league feel like a more comprehensive experience for players. In particular, I think, or I imagine, and I hope that others can validate this or invalidate this, but that seeing social media content or journalism content or a weekly newsletter for players and then also for their family and friends helps people feel um, more validated and invested in the league and in their high school experience playing frisbee. So to that extent, we sort of have two ideas for how we can do that, and then two ideas for ways that we can be supported by players in the league. So the first, we are kind of, and both of these, I should add, if anyone has any input as to what they would like to see, we're definitely looking from coaches, administrators, players, captains, etc. But so the first idea that we have is a weekly newsletter. I'm sure all of y'all are familiar with Ultiworld. I'm kind of thinking that this could be a little New York City High School League version of Ultiworld. Um, but ideally we could do written coverage that we send out in a weekly newsletter to anyone who decides to sign up, send recaps of games, send results from the week, um, come up with player or coach or team profiles, other stories, compelling stuff like that, potentially do some sort of power rankings, all of those types of things. And we would love to involve a high schooler, a player in the league, in that process. And so there's a brief description here, and I've written up a more comprehensive description of this position. But really it's sort of up to the person who ends up doing it, what they sort of want it to take, or what form they sort of want it to take. We imagine it'll be about 3 to 5 hours of work per week, just during the season, but again, could be more if people are up for it. We have the budget to offer about a $400 stipend. That's not finalized, but that's sort of our ambition. Um, and so that's sort of one piece. Then the second piece is I would love to bring back the high school, or bring up, Sam, I don't know, um, the high school league social media account. I personally use Instagram the most, although I'm sure high schoolers can correct me on what the best form of social media for us to get involved in would be. But I would love to see the online presence of the league increase, to create content that people can repost on their stories and send to their friends, and highlight clips that people can send to their grandparents and all the like. So this person would help manage the social media, create graphics in Canva or whatever they prefer about scores and standings and the stuff and that type of thing. If teams are already or are interested in filming their games, potentially we can help create highlight videos or reels that we post, that type of thing. And again, this is something that I have a little bit of experience in Frisbee journalism, but no experience in Frisbee social media. So this, I think we're looking for even more guidance on. But pretty similar setup, a couple hours a week, potential for more if people are psyched about it. And again, that $400 stipend is our goal here. So yeah, we want to offer this as a way to support the league and then also support players in the league. Give players opportunities, to put stuff on their resume and to be involved in other ways. Um, Basically, for both of these positions, we're asking that people write a couple paragraphs about why they're interested. Depending on how many people apply, we'll potentially do interviews, that type of thing for both the reporting and the social media stuff. If people have examples of stuff that they've written or made, then they can send that as well, but it's definitely not necessary. And the best way to submit, we'll just ask that people email the three of us with their applications. And I hope that you guys, we'll send more information after the meeting, but I hope that you all can tell your teams about these opportunities, and we hope to see a lot of applications. But yeah, if anyone has any other thoughts as to what they'd like to see from us in these regards or from these positions, please feel free to hop in. I would love to take some notes on that.
I'll just share Jacob. Think this is great. No real notes. Just hope there's some support like what does the support behind this look like? Like, is there somebody from the DiscNY family who's going to be supporting and kind of um, getting these guys going? But I think this is great. Like I've always thought, like yeah, I like the sports in general. I like both of this, so I think this is great. But I'd love to know more about like how the league would support it aside from the money. Like what sort of like human support would be provided to the people who do this.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, as I mentioned, we're still figuring out specifics, but I imagine for the reporting stuff, that's something that I honestly want to bring even separate from a player or players who are helping us out with that. So I imagine that that would be something that I work with this person on. Just
And
coming up with a list. You know, I've done a little bit of writing for Royalty World in the past, so I have some idea of the sequence of pitching a story to interviewing people to writing it to publishing it, and am planning on managing the weekly newsletter. So would support them in that way, and then the social media stuff. Um,
I think that would fall more to my support, coming
yeah,
from a background in design. I run social media accounts, and so these did come like from our team of wanting to support like the high school players and like provide them with opportunities. So Jacob sort of on the sports journalism side, me kind of on the social media content side, and then seeing from the organization like where we can draw from other expertises and get support. Again, more than just the monetary.
Yeah, I think I mean I actually thought about this a couple years ago, getting the reports from the field from the games, like and getting that gives recaps or summaries, so that somebody can write them. Like so building the kind of muscle memory within the individual teams that designate somebody or but getting that information out. Maybe there's a way to use um social AI to do that. I know we've actually been working on ways to do game recaps through using some reporting tools. So anyway, I think this is great. Excited.
Yeah, and the other thing that we've talked about along with this is potentially getting coaches and captains involved in some of it beyond just the internship presence, so that we're able to like have a committee of people that is able to make power rankings on a divisional level, so that we're able to have more involvement on like early work towards postseason awards, that kind of thing. Really, like Jacob said earlier, just like trying to elevate the experience of the league overall. Cool, exciting things. Um, your homework. And this is the end before we go into a Q&A and release folks who don't want to stay for that. Um, we're going to send you a contact form. We're going to send you a scheduling form. Please don't make us chase you to fill them out. We know that there's some coaching changeover with teams. We know that we have to follow up with some folks who aren't here. We'd like to have an accurate contact sheet so we can easily send, for example, sports journalism out to people. Um, we want to make sure we have the right things so that we don't bug the wrong people. Um, Part of that will be getting set up and anchored. We'll send you the registration link for that so that you're able to get in. Again, this is just for coaches, but every coach on your roster needs to do it, regardless of if they're an assistant coach or a head coaching position. Everyone has to do that. Registration opens on the 1st. You'll start to see those events populate in USA Ultimate and on DiscNY's website. We're going to collect scheduling information from you. You don't want me coming after you for scheduling information. You don't want Sydney coming after you for scheduling information. Trust me. I've been guarded by her. It's scary enough running away. Uh, January meeting, likely the second or third week of January. The three of us have to get into a room and figure out what works for us. We will get that to you as soon as we can. Sydney and I are going to work on when it makes sense to get scheduling meetings on the books for. We're slightly changing that system, and you'll hear more from her about exactly what she's going to want from you. Um, and if you need your practices sanctioned, that starts on January 1st. If you practice at any point between January 1st and June 30th and want insurance coverage, we're able to offer that. I think that's all of the things. I know we stopped for questions a couple of times, but open Q&A. And if you don't want to stick around for this, thank you. Have a lovely night. We'll give you back your 8:09 to 8:30 time.
I'm just gonna. Oh, sorry. If,
This is a somewhat specific question, but is DH back to requiring shorts as part of their orders? I remember they didn't require that last year, but they did 2 years ago. So,
We can check in about whether it can be just a jersey option.
okay, thank you.
Hi, folks. This is Barry from Wes. We were new back into the league last year, and I don't know if this is the right venue for this. And Sam, Jacob, and Cindy, we can do this offline. But we had some questions just in terms of league regulations on how to end the game, basically, because we came in a couple situations where different coaches interpreted the rules a bit differently, and I wanted to make sure we were all buttoned up for this season.
Yeah, standard games have a soft cap at 90 minutes. When the soft cap goes, you finish the point, you add one to whoever's ahead, and when you reach it, so if it's 10-12 at soft cap, when the point is over, it's now a game to 13. If 15 minutes later, no one has reached 13, it is now the end of the game. If either of those situations results in a tie, it is now universe point.
Got it. Got it. Thank you.
Mhm.
Hi Sam. I have a question about the kickoff tournament and the like potential NYC Cup. Would they have separate tournament bids that we would have to like pay, or is that going to be included in the like registration fee? I think you're muted.
I'm disappointed in myself. Those are separate events that will have separate registration. We just like to include them as part of this because they're DiscNY events, so we can get them on folks' calendars.
Would you know how much a fee would be, or has that not been figured out yet?
I have not sat down with a
What,
budget sheet yet.
what was it last year?
Last year we were doing a per player thing. This year it will likely be a per team thing that still is on a pay what you can scale. Expect that scale to be between 100 and 300 to $400 a team, depending on what makes sense for your team.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
I have a question for about like scheduling games and rescheduling games. Um, it's I've never coached in the GX division before, but I feel based on just my awareness, generally like a lot of those games get rescheduled. Or feels like a lot of them get rescheduled for really like kind of like no good reason other than like somebody can't make it. Um, it'd really be, like what I think the open division, or Club A has gotten really good at is like the schedule sticks, for the most part. Like they're, unless there's weather, would like to just, I'm the first time in the GX division, so, um, would just love to see all the teams kind of get on the same page as far as like this is what the schedule is. And we're
Yeah,
not
and
like running
I
around
will
trying to reschedule
say
games.
that like there are official processes for rescheduling a game. We haven't been incredibly strict about them. That involves communication with the deputy commissioner, and that involves certain forfeit rules. So if a game is canceled past a certain point, it counts as a forfeit in the record. We have not been incredibly bandwidth heavy over the past couple of years to be able to track all of these things and stay on top of it. Um, but yeah, I hear the concern. I think we should be okay.
Yeah, I would love. I mean, I think I saw Roe on here. I see Lena. Hey, Lena, how you doing? Is there any other girls GX division coaches or teams here? I don't think. Evelyn, Flynn. Hey, Evelyn. So we got 3 out of 4 of the GX division. All right.
Mark, this is Miller. I'm here as well from Ultimatums.
Oh, hey, sorry, I didn't see you.
No, you're good.
My apologies. Well, I look forward to coordinating schedules and getting this getting this set up. So, um, should be fun.
I just wanted to add before people head out, I'm again super excited to work with you all. I'm just going to send my phone number to the chat, and if anyone has any questions beyond this meeting or thoughts, especially about the coach matching program or the internships, please feel free to text me either now, tonight, or when thoughts come up. But I'm hoping to be available and really collaborative in both of those efforts. So would love to hear from coaches and especially players about any thoughts you guys have on what specifically could work.
I remember the thing I forgot to say earlier, which is that there is a DiscNY Slack space and a high school league channel in that space. Highly, highly, highly encourage folks to get into it. It is generally faster than email, at least for reaching me. I won't speak for Jacob and Sydney. I know they have work hours to deal with that are less forgiving sometimes than working in a school. Um, but there are easy ways to contact individuals within that Slack space, um, and easy ways to just check in with the community beyond an email or sending something out into the void. Cool. This is your last minute call for questions. Going once, going twice. Gone. Sold to the highest bidder for $0.00.
No,
My
sorry.
bad. Go ahead.
Nope,
I'm
nope.
so
Sorry.
sorry.
She was maybe. I think she maybe was waving goodbye. I apologize. Sorry.